A few days ago, police in Munich came to the rescue of a young student who had been reported missing, only to discover that she had faked her own kidnapping. And when they questioned her, it quickly became clear that she was the victim of a particularly nasty scam, specifically targeted at young people living in foreign countries. So let me just run through what happened and explain a bit about the scam and how it works. According to a statement released by the police, the victim was a 22-year-old Chinese citizen studying at a college in Munich. On Friday, the 2nd of September, 2 college staff members reported the disappearance of this student. She'd last been seen 10 days previously when she told her flatmate that she was going on a short trip. But her parents in China had contacted the college to say that they had received a ransom note demanding hundreds of thousands of euros, and so everybody had to assume that the young woman was in immediate danger and hadn't, for example, just run off with a secret boyfriend. So an investigation was launched and the police very quickly tracked her down to a hotel in central Munich. And since they were dealing with what was almost certainly going to be a hostage situation, they called in the police special task force, the SEK. And this meant that a heavily armed tactical response unit entered the hotel, which must have been very unnerving for both staff and guests. But they found the student in her room, not only completely unharmed, but also completely alone. Normally, and for reasons that really shouldn't need explaining, faking a crime and prompting a police response on this kind of scale can get you into serious trouble and cost you a lot of money. So obviously they questioned her and discovered that she had essentially been blackmailed into doing it. Apparently, this is a known scam, and as I said, targets young people living abroad. The victim is contacted by somebody claiming to represent some agency in their home country. They then accuse the victim of being involved in some serious crime like money laundering or fraud. They then explain to the victim that they can make these charges just disappear if the victim pays them a certain amount of money. Now, if you're anything like me, then at this point you may be thinking, that's not how the law works. Which is theoretically true, but in some countries the government and police are notoriously corrupt, and it is easily possible that a victim might genuinely believe that officials really are framing them and then blackmailing them into paying a bribe. So this victim paid up, but of course that wasn't enough for the scammers, it never is, and they just kept demanding more. The police statement doesn't say exactly how much she ended up paying them, but news websites are reporting that it was a 5-figure sum. That is a huge amount of money for most people, but especially a student. When she had no more money to give them, they demanded that she fake a kidnapping in order to raise more funds. Now again, you may be thinking that that is an obviously stupid thing to do, but if she genuinely believed that she was being blackmailed by corrupt officials who could seriously mess up her entire life if they wanted to, she might be scared enough to go through with it. The scammers would probably also be hoping that the victim's parents would pay up without question if the ransom note was threatening enough. But in this case, the parents did the right thing in reporting it to the college, and since the victim herself hadn't covered her tracks very well, and after all she wasn't a professional, it was very easy to find her. The scammers themselves are, of course, likely in some other country, out of reach of both the German and the Chinese authorities. And the sad part is that from their perspective, although they didn't get the jackpot, they did still make a lot of money. As scary as it is, if you get this kind of message, report it to the police. It is a scam. Even if you think it might not be a scam, and let's be clear about this, it is a scam, you have clear evidence that you are being blackmailed, and that is evidence that you can take to the German authorities. I don't normally ask you to do this, but please do share this video with anybody that you think needs to see it. Also, check the link down there for a video about another common scam.